Nothing sells a fight like real hatred. But today, UFC rivalries feel like scripted drama, trash talk, fake feuds, and then hugs at the end. The fire is gone. Before we get into it, like and subscribe so you don't miss more videos like this. Now, let's talk about the greatest UFC rivalry ever, Khabib versus Conor. This wasn't just a fight, this was real war. Conor took it beyond trash talk, attacking Khabib's country, his religion, his family. Then he escalated it, ambushing Khabib, throwing a dolly at a bus, smashing windows, nearly injuring fighters. Khabib stayed silent. He waited. When they finally met at UFC 229, he didn't just beat Conor, he embarrassed him, took him down, smashed him, made him quit. But even after that, Khabib wasn't done. The second the fight ended, he jumped the cage and went straight for Conor's team. He wanted all of them. That wasn't a PR stunt, that was real rage. In a podcast, he admitted he wasn't finished after Conor. He still wanted more.
Yeah, I was expecting more. And, it's like, when I go, I talk with him, he give me this excuse, oh, this is, just only business, everything. Okay, when I catch his neck and I choke him, he tap, and I think, hey, you bring, thousands people from Ireland here on different part of world, and you tap in front of them, and you talk about warrior or something like this. How you can tap? Go sleep. And he tap, and I was like, okay, it's not enough. I need something, and I see some his corners talk with me, and I think, oh, I have to bite his heart,
And when a random guy on the street asked what would happen if he saw Conor, Khabib didn't hesitate and said, we fight.
You know Conor's in New York right now, right? What happens if the two of you see each other on the street?
Fight.
Fight in the street?
Fight, of course.
Not for money, just to fight?
Of course, we're gonna fight.
Who wins a street fight, you or Conor?
No, I never lose fight in the street.
No matter where it is, you're gonna
How many times he tap? How many times? He's tap machine.
No hesitation, no fake respect. This was real. Now look at today's UFC beefs between Paddy and Ilia. This one had potential. Topuria was furious over Paddy's comments about Russia and Georgia. He took it personally.
He was very disrespectful to me, to my country, to all my people, and he just behaved like a idiot, He started to talk about the war we had against Russia, and that he said something. Now I understand why the Russians put the bombs in Georgia, and many kids died in that war. Many people died in that war. Not a lot of good things happen in the war. So
Topuria ran up on Paddy in a hotel before UFC London, threw a bottle, Paddy threw one back, and they even swung on each other. Then, at the press conference, Paddy went off on Topuria again. The tension was real. Recently, Topuria said on a podcast that if he saw Paddy in public, he'd take his head off.
Talk about that kind of things. Just make sure that we don't find each other anywhere, because I'm gonna take your head off. You know what I mean?
But when they finally met at UFC 314, face-offs, where Paddy was facing Michael Chandler and Topuria was there to support his friend Guram, they fist-bumped like nothing ever happened. The whole feud vanished. No real hate, just fake hype. Same with Mokaev versus Kape. Before UFC 304, they were throwing bottles, squabbling at hotels, making it look like they were out for blood. Fans expected a war. Instead, the fight was boring, and after, they hugged like best friends. What happened to the energy? And to top it off, Mokaev got kicked out of the UFC right after. Probably the reason was what people expected and what you gave them. This is what's wrong with the UFC today. Fighters act like they hate each other to sell fights, but when it's over, they're hugging, shaking hands, and counting money. Back in the day, grudges were real. Tito versus Chuck, Jones versus DC, Khabib versus Conor. No acting, just bad blood. That's why Khabib versus Conor will never be topped. Khabib didn't just want to win, he wanted to break Conor. And even after it was over, he still wanted more. That's real. So what do you think? Are UFC beefs dead? Do fighters even hate each other anymore, or is it all for the cameras? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe.